Hey everyone, my name is Chris Gonzales and I'm going to talk to you today about the country of Colombia. So let's jump right into it. Now on my intro slide, you'll see the city of Bogota, which is the capital of Colombia. It's located right in the heart of the Andes Mountains. There's a very good reason for that. We'll get to it in a second. But a little bit about the physical geography. Colombia is the furthest most northwest region of South America. If you look at the continent of South America, you can find Colombia in the top left-hand corner. It has about 3,300 kilometers, which is almost 2,000 miles of coastline shared between the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. Its land area makes it the fourth largest country in South America and the seventh largest on the American continent. Within Colombia is one of the biggest rivers in South America, called the Magdalena, and it runs about 1,600 kilometers. Its origin is in the Mediterranean Sea, and it can be navigated as far south as the city of Nieva, which is in the center of the country of Colombia. The Andes Mountains runs from northeast to southwest and splits into three separate subranges called the Cordillera. You have the Occidental in the west, Central in the middle, and the Oriental in the east. The current population is estimated to be almost 51 million people. Now, this makes Colombia the fourth largest populated country in Latin America. Interestingly enough, its populace is highly concentrated to the Andean high country and the Caribbean coast because of the ideal living conditions that these areas provide. Over half of its exports, 52% of its exports in 2019 were mineral fuels and oil. Other exports were coffees, teas, fruits and nuts, precious metals, gems, plant life, and iron and steel. Now in 2019, its total exports were more than $40 billion, and this was responsible for a 3% year-to-year GDP increase for Colombia, ranking it third in South America. Its climate can be characterized as tropical and isothermal, but there is a lot of dynamic variability that happens in this country. If you were to traverse the country from its western coast to its eastern savanna, you would experience a number of changes in climate due to changes in elevation, humidity, rainfall, and temperature. The best way to classify it is the local terminology. Less than 900 meters in elevation, they call tierra caliente, or hot country. Between 900 meters and 1,980 meters, they call tierra templada, or temperate country. And anything higher than 1,980 meters, they call tierra fria, or cold. It is noteworthy to mention that the eastern savanna, the tierra caliente portion, is more than 60% of the land area in Colombia, but yet less than 3% of the population lives there. If you were to overlay the population density map from slide 3 and the Köppen climate map of Colombia from slide 4 that you're looking at right now, you would see that these two areas correlate. The eastern savanna and high elevations have a lot of potential moving forward. Extractive corporations and timber companies are expressing a lot of interest in the eastern savanna. Tree farming could be a major export. This area of the eastern savanna is ideal for tree farming because of its warm and its hot climate and the future rainfall projections for the area. If done sustainably, it could be a major export for Colombia. Unfortunately, moving into that type of industry requires the devastation of natural grasslands in the area. Moreover, studies suggest that the global rice production will suffer from climate change in the east. Now, this is important because rice feeds more than half of the world population, but Colombia could enter the rice market by growing rice at higher elevations rather than its competitors who would have to move their production fields to higher latitudes. When it comes to climate change, Colombia has been combating many issues: illegal mining, fossil fuel exploitation in its protected areas, and the increased dependence on oil and coal. Now, Colombia has had some troubles with the UNFCCC as it hasn't really been portrayed as a very sustainable country in the past. But Colombia is recently portraying leadership amidst its Ministry of Environment cutting budgets. Unfortunately, Colombia is also viewed as a developing country, and its ecological diversity and vulnerability to climate change gets little attention and kind of takes a back seat. New commercial interests to exploit resources from an underutilized region, the Eastern Savannah, would continue to increase the GDP for the country, expand local economies by providing jobs and help to colonize the area. And if it's done sustainably, it could put Colombia on the forefront of the green movement by making it an example of what can be done to turn a country around. Colombia can be viewed as the underdog of Latin America. As a country that continues to face the challenges of improving its political economy and stature, Colombia remains mindful of the unique circumstances of its geographical position and desires to protect the varying ecosystems within its borders. As Colombia moves to become a leader in the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, it does not remove itself from an analytical illustration of the country's embodiment, history, vulnerability, and position on climate change. Thank you.